Nutrition can be this big, complicated thing to people. A Google search of diet to lose weight will find you in a cesspool of information, such as fad diets, superfoods, or one quick trick that doctors hate to help you shed belly fat. A similar problem exists Googling diets to gain weight, listing things such as specific foods, some of which are the exact same as foods recommended for losing weight, such as lean proteins. I have completed 5 bulk and cut sessions, also known as intentional weight gain and then intentional weight loss, throughout my life. This is a lot more than the average person ever does. As well, in Canada, a good chunk of the chiropractic postgraduate program is centered on nutrition. In line with my desire to cut the complicated nonsense out of healthcare, fitness, and improvement, I figured it was time to lay out the processes of weight loss and weight gain as simply as possible in reference to nutrition. First, a few disclaimers. This video will be focused specifically on weight as a number, both the loss and the gain of it. I will not be talking about vitamins or minerals, which are very important when it comes to the quality of your diet, but would warrant their own video. We're also not going to be talking about body composition, which is losing or gaining specific kinds of weight, either muscle or fat. To do targeted loss of a certain structure such as this requires fine-tuning the macronutrient component of your diet, alongside exercising in a certain way to help facilitate it. I also won't be diving into things like basal metabolic rates or total daily energy expenditure or recommended daily allowance. These acronyms are a more accurate way of tracking exact calorie metabolism as well as whatever macronutrients you may need, but again, they're more complicated. We're trying to keep stuff simple. And also, I won't be talking about the socioeconomic factors that are associated with weight gain and obesity. Our consumption habits are a lot more complicated than just eat less. Instead, it's a very complex, interconnected web of things like financial ability, transit, familial pressures, mental health, access to physical facilities. All of those things wouldn't be able to be fit into a single video. And then lastly, of course, before starting any new diet plan, it's highly recommended that you check with a healthcare professional of your choosing. Some good options would include your GP or a nutritionist or a dietitian, a naturopath, or an evidence-based chiro. All right, with all that out of the way, let's get started. The first thing we need to define is a calorie. A calorie at its core is a unit of measurement or energy. It's the amount of energy needed in order to heat up 1 gram of water by 1 degree Celsius. Also, to clarify, a calorie and a kilocalorie are actually the same thing. I know you might think kilo means 1,000, and such is the case for things like kilograms and grams, but they're used interchangeably when we're talking about calories. Now we need to define macronutrients. There are 4 macronutrients, you've probably heard of all of them, and each of them has their own amount of calories per gram. They are carbs at a rate of 4 kilocalories per gram, proteins, again at a rate of 4 kilocalories per gram, fats at a rate of 9 kilocalories per gram, and alcohol at a rate of 7 kilocalories per gram. Of the 4, carbs, fats, and proteins are the more reliable source of energy. Weight loss and weight gain at its absolute core is simply calories in and calories out. This is also referred to as a caloric surplus, or taking in more calories than you are expending, or a caloric deficit, taking in less calories than you are expending. There are approximately 3,500 calories in 1 pound of human body fat. Therefore, eating at a 500 calorie deficit for a week or 7 days burns off that 3,500 extra calories. You've lost 1 pound of fat. That example is not entirely scientifically accurate because your body would also need to burn through the available carbohydrates in the form of glycogen and glucose, and also some proteins as well, but it's just to kind of demonstrate how having that caloric deficit leads to weight loss. There is a very interesting case study or pop culture reference almost where a nutrition teacher ate something called a corner store or convenience store diet. This professor managed to lose 27 pounds eating nothing but junk food from a corner store. His food of choice primarily was Twinkies. Yes, those little cream-filled sugary pastries. This professor lost 27 pounds eating Twinkies. And it was all because he only ate as many within the calorie count to keep a deficit. Looking at it for the other end, weight gain, a clean bulk is something that's practiced by many different athletes or weight trainers. A clean bulk is basically gaining weight by eating only what you would consider to be very healthy foods, the staples of which are oftentimes chicken breast, potatoes, rice, and broccoli. Eating a lot of this led to weight gain, even though the foods themselves are undeniably healthy. It just came down to the amount that was being consumed. So then, how do we apply this? First things first, we need to calculate our maintenance calories. This is the amount of calories that would be needed for us to remain at our current weight, given our age, our height, and our current activity levels. I figured I could do a cutaway here of showing exactly how to do this. This is the Mayo Clinic, a well-known organization for all things health online. I will include this link in the YouTube comments down below. So we got calorie counter, age, height, weight, and my sex. So I am 28 years old. I am 5'9.5". Every half inch counts. I have that on good authority. It looks like every half inch does not count according to the Mayo Clinic, so we will go 5'9". My weight, last I checked, it was actually 193. This was 2 days ago. I am in the middle of losing weight right now. And my sex, I am male. We're gonna click next. Okay, select the statement that best describes your usual activity level. I used to be a very, very active individual. Every day I would spend in the gym. Given my career is picking up and I'm making this YouTube channel, I've kind of dropped a little bit closer down to active here. I'm somewhere between these two, but I will just click active for now. Calculate. And now we have my maintenance calories, which looks like I would need to consume approximately 2,800 calories to remain at 193 pounds. So knowing what your maintenance calories are, you then need to decide, are you looking to lose weight or are you looking to gain weight? If you are looking to lose weight, you will subtract whatever your maintenance calories are by 500. So I was 2,800, I will subtract a 2,300, which coincidentally is what I'm currently eating at. If you were looking to gain weight, you would add 500 calories to 2,800 for a total of 3,300, which coincidentally was what I was eating at. Again, as another disclaimer, I am a healthy adult male. I do not have any underlying health conditions that could make this a potentially dangerous pursuit. This is why, again, it is important to consult with your healthcare provider of choice. Also, if you are female, do not dip below 1,200 calories a day, and if you are male, do not dip below 1,500 calories a day. This will very likely put you into a nutrient deficiency, which is a dangerous state to be in. So now that you have your target calorie intake for either losing or gaining weight, use a calorie tracker. The best calorie tracker that I know of currently is MyFitnessPal. I have never personally used MyFitnessPal, but I have had patients who've lost upwards of 50 pounds using it. The premise is you type in whatever food you're looking to eat and it has the calories there for you and tracks it for your day. Whatever you do, try your best to avoid intuitive eating or just eating something thinking you know how many calories are in it. I've been losing and gaining weight for 10 years and I still struggle with this, and that's because it is incredibly difficult to do. Now, if you are diehard for accuracy here, you can look at your TDEE or your total daily energy expenditure, which is something that I mentioned earlier. It takes into account things like your basal metabolic rates, your levels of activity, as well as the thermic effect of food, which is how much calories you actually burn through the process of digestion. In short, with protein, we burn 25 to 35% of the calories we consume through digestion. With carbs, it's between 5 and 15%, and with fats, it's between 0 and 5. This is why if a person eats 2,000 calories of fat and 2,000 calories of protein, all things being held constant, the person who ate the 2,000 calories of protein will likely lose or gain less weight. They spent more calories simply digesting and burning it off. Okay, back on the topic here. The name of the game here is all consistency. You need to consistently hit your target calories for a prolonged period of time until you hit whatever the desired weight number is. This is why a lot of fad diets ultimately fail, and also why people rebound. When I say rebound, I mean gain weight back that they just took off. Fad diets usually are very restrictive and uncomfortable to a person to the point of eventually they give up. It's important to eat as many normal foods as you usually do in the process of reaching your goal. Something very, 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 very important to highlight is that you can cheat the numbers that you track, you can cheat the people around you, and you can even cheat your own mental state, but you can't cheat your body. Your body knows exactly what and exactly how much you are putting into it. So if you've struggled with weight loss in the past, but you're a 1 glass of red in the evening won't hurt me kind of person, yeah, you're right, it's not gonna hurt you, but it is gonna mess up your calorie count and therefore also mess up your consistency and therefore also mess up your weight loss. Full stop. There's no arguing that. I am not saying don't enjoy yourself on holidays and special occasions. It's November while I'm filming this right now. As you can tell from the decorations, I got some festivities coming up. I am in the process of losing weight, but I fully intend on both drinking and eating more than my fair share. But again, consistency is the important thing. these days are the exception, not the rule. Whether you're looking to lose or gain weight, you should be exercising alongside your diet plan. Exercise helps in weight loss by increasing your caloric expenditure. If you burn more calories, your calorie intake is lower, therefore the weight loss is facilitated. Exercise also helps in weight gain by helping to facilitate the process of lean muscle growth so that the weight you do put on isn't just fat. However, with that, you will need to eat slightly more to compensate for the calories burnt off. Weight loss, again, is largely based off the food you are putting into your body. It is not possible to outwork a bad diet. A large part of the nutrition battle for weight loss and weight gain is knowledge. This probably isn't the first video or source of information that has said it's all in the calorie count, and while that is objectively true, again, it's a lot more complicated than that. As humans, we are social creatures, and food and socializing are very, very interconnected. How many times have you wanted to go over to a buddy's place for beer and pizza to watch a game? Or perhaps you're meeting new friends, so you'd go out to the bar or a restaurant or something. There's also hidden calories in a lot of takeout food, or perhaps things that you wouldn't be aware of, such as cooking oils. And then of course there's always genetics, any kind of predispositions to weight gain or loss, such as hypo or hyperthyroidism. And then the last thing that I will mention before we kind of sign off here is this idea of set point theory. This is a relatively newer theory that claims that every person has a range of weights for which their body is genetically predisposed to remain within. I personally have experienced this. My weight range usually varies between 175 and 205. I bound between those two areas. However, this set point theory is not enough and not sufficient enough to prevent the extremes of both ends. If I ceased exercising and only ate carb-heavy meals, I would become obese. If I stopped eating altogether, I would become severely underweight. Set point theory refers to healthy individuals who are looking to push just past the weights that they've been before. It also helps to explain the diminishing returns on effort to results ratio. That's it, guys. As simple as possible, laying out the nutrition facts that you need to either gain weight or lose weight in a healthy, all things considered individual. Weight is very often a very sensitive topic that I need to bring up with some patients. So if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please just leave them below or message me privately if you're a little bit, sensitive about them. Find your maintenance calories, choose whether you're going up or down, include some activity in there, and be honest with yourself. Those are the steps. As always, thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe down below. It helps me out a lot. You can click here for the previous video, and you can click here for the most recent one. Have yourselves some great days.